So coming to Vic Uni was a long thought out decision. I have 3 children, and so home life is quite busy, and I just thought I can't go back to uni. I mean, I did it 20 years ago when I studied accounting, and I found that quite difficult, and I thought I can't do it all over again. But then I thought, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, because I always tell my children, if you believe in something and want to do something, give it a go. So anyway, my last daughter started school this year, and I thought I'll start semester 2. I'll go and find out some more information and just choose the course. And then 3 days in, I was bored, and I thought I can't stay home without kids to look after. So I looked up the VU website, and this course came up, and I spoke to Val, and she was very positive and gave me a lot of encouragement. And then when I met Joan and Lynette, and they would just say, of course you can do it, you've done it all before, and we're encouraging, and I'm so glad that I have, because it's just a different world.
I have a business. I have a shop in Epping, and I still have that shop. And even though I work in retail and the shop revolves around children, I kind of just felt like something was missing in my life. Like Maria, I adore children, and I just connect with them all the time in any sort of way, shape or form. I thought to myself, what am I going to do once we sell the shop? And I thought to myself, what am I good at? And naturally, I just was cruising through a website, and I happened to come across a VU ad, and it wasn't specifically for the Cert 3, and I just sort of cruised through it, and I came across the Cert 3 for education support, and I thought, okay, that's probably something I could do. And I thought, why not investigate it a bit further? So I did, and unlike Maria though, I didn't take long to think about it. I was just like, yeah, you know what, I can do this, I'm going to do it. And pretty much the next day I rang up the uni, got as much info as possible, and took it from there. Rang my sister, who's my partner in the business, and said, Barbara, this is what I'm going to do. And she's like, well, how are you going to manage going back to uni with the shop? Sorted all that out, thankfully, and here I am.
9 years ago, I got very sick, and how do you say, sorry, I got very ill, and my life suddenly stopped. And coming to, for the last 9 years, I was actually doing nothing, just going to the doctors all the time, and physios and everywhere. It was an endless circle of just medical stuff, And when I applied for this course, to run through my head was, will we be able to cope with it, or would I be able to handle the work, because my brain hasn't worked for that long. I wouldn't know how to deal with the pressure of the school and coming to school, and would I be up to it and being scared.
Look, I'm 37 now, and my whole life I've worked for massive corporate companies, and I've always done what I've been good at. I've never actually done something I enjoyed. And basically what happened was I got to the point where I decided enough was enough. I don't want to just keep doing something that I'm good at over and over again.
And I came back and I sort of thought, pretty much like what I'm thinking the rest of us would have thought, am I smart enough? Am I going to fit in? Am I too old? What's everyone going to think about me? All these things were in my head, but I thought, yet again, challenge yourself, push through that, Anna, you can do this. Did it, met Joan, met Jane, and I was in love with Joan straight away. She made me laugh in that interview, and Nicole was there too, and totally made me feel relaxed and settled in. And I thought, you know what? I went home, said to my husband, I'm going to do this, I can do this.
And I came here and there was so many different things, and everybody's busily running around, and you think this, how am I going to fit in, because there's all these teeny people coming out of high school. How am I going to relate to these kids, But then you walk into the classroom and the diversity, and everyone was on the same page. So, and the ages were all different, and the young ones were interested to hear our life experience, and having life experience it helps so much.
Looking back at, say, even Christmas time last year, who in their right mind would have thought that I would be here in May, sitting with these awesome people, with awesome lecturers, learning more about what I want to learn about, and that is children, and learning and being with these wonderful children. So I would never have thought.
I think what happened was I just felt a bit empty, and I started getting to the point with my children where I'm teaching them, you know, to be good at school and to keep going as far as you can go to do what you want to do. And I relayed them words back in my head and go, what are you doing? You're teaching your kids to do this, but you're not doing it yourself.
Just the fact that you actually come into a classroom and you get to do the course with other like-minded people that actually want to be here it gives you such a great sense of satisfaction. Like, I'm sure you could probably do a similar course online. I'm not sure if you can, or if you could do it at your local library or whatever. But just the fact that you can come in here, and I know every Monday and Thursday I actually look forward to coming here.
When I finished school and I left and jumped straight into the workplace ever so quickly, so being back after all these years has just been incredible. Yeah. No, I love it. So.
No, I look forward to coming to school every day. I do. I look forward to it. I'm wrapped up I'm keeping my mind very active now, because the last 9 years my mind's been, how do you say, it's very dull, like in a coma for like last 9 years. So now it's true. It's like, for the first few weeks I was a bit freaked out a bit, because I don't know if I could handle all this, like the workload, but now I can go home, do the homework, don't have to worry if I get it right or not, but that's what everybody worries about that. But with me,
what enables you to handle it now?
From when I was a teenager, now I've grown up here a lot more. I want my life to move forward. Back when I was like 16, 17, when I quit school and all that, I really didn't care about what I was going to do the rest of my life. I had a plan, but I didn't go through with it. So this illness that I had the last 9 years has made me mature heaps. Like now, I would love to be a teacher's aide. That's what I love to be. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I walked in quite fragile, I believe, from where I am now. Now I'm confident, and I actually now wish I could do more study. I see so many different avenues that I want to go into. It has, because I don't feel intimidated by it now. I know I can do it, and I honestly wish that I could do more.
Oh, when I walked in, initially I was very insecure and very worried about people's perception, my ability, and I've learnt that I can't be, because I'm needed and I can do it. And if you give it a go, anything's possible. So give it a go.
It made us feel like what we're doing is worthwhile.
Yeah, it means something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just a Cert 3. We're making a difference.
My life's back on track. Back, like going straight, not backwards. Yeah, I should have done this course when I was like 18. For sure, it's fantastic. This has changed my life, this course. I gotta thank Joan and all the other teachers and for doing that, for letting me do this course. It's fantastic.
You just feel like you come to life a little bit more.
Yeah.
You feel like, I don't know, someone else is valuing you and listening to what you say, and it just becomes so much more important.
At the end of the day, the piece of paper that you hold is not what's making the person, it's what you're doing to help the community, and that's important. People have said that to me, you know. How can you go from being an accountant to being a teacher's aide? You only get a quarter of what, and it's not about the money, it's about the feeling that you receive when you feel that need. Because
I've got a disability myself, I know how the younger kids feel about having been different than everybody else, and I want to help them. That's what I want to do the most.
Most people think a course is just something short that is kind of a means to an end, but for me it's been so much more than that. I've made beautiful friends that I'll continue outside of this. I've learnt so many different strategies that I can take to the schools as well as with my children, and I think more than anything, I've overcome so many inner personal struggles. Yeah, and just like being more confident and accepting yourself for who you are and not trying to be everything to everyone, you know, and just believing in yourself that you can do it.
I don't want this day to end because it just closes a chapter in our life that I'm not ready to close. You know, I've enjoyed the experience of learning new things, meeting new people, and yes, I'm excited about teaching or helping teach new kids who have special needs, but I'm leaving behind something that I'm comfortable with and that I've enjoyed doing.
You've developed a love of learning.
I think we've been blessed with such a wide variety of people, and everyone, although every one of us are different, we've all contributed something special to this, and we all get along really well. I mean, we all have different friendships, but it's been fantastic, and to learn, you know, different perspectives from other people as well has been amazing.
First day, I said to my friend that I came with, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to get this certificate so that I can go out and teach, so, you know, this is what I want to do. And at day one, bang, the four of us just clicked, and we all had something in common, and, you know, we're helping each other, encouraging each other through it. One would have a really off day and we say, no, come on, remember, we just got to push through. We're going through the same thing, we've got to keep going.
It just doesn't seem to have gone on long enough. It's almost like we need another 6 to 9 months just to gel a little bit longer.
And for so many of us, it is unleashed so many other qualities that we didn't have, and, you know, or didn't realise we had, and so it's opened us up, and all the learning and the new experiences and the creative. It's been awesome, and we don't want to go back from that.
I definitely came into this course thinking I'm just going to get the course done, over and done with, and look for a job, and that was the goal. But the journey, and I know it's such a cliched word, but it really is, but it has been an amazing journey, and, you know, getting the job or getting a job at the end of it is just the icing on the cake, because friends that we've made along the way and the experiences. This day, for example, never in my wildest dreams would I think, you know, on a Thursday morning in the middle of winter would be sitting on Williamstown Beach, spending some awesome time together, reminiscing about what we've done and reading poetry and, you know, just reveling in the experience.
The stories that she told us about her own real life experience are not textbook answers. So if we asked a question, she would always give us an example about a nursing home she was in, or in a
school she taught at, or whatever it was.
So it was real life experience, not what should happen. This is what did happen, but every situation is different, and it's okay to just have a go. You know, just believe in yourself and go for it. Okay, recoil if you make a mistake and try again. So it's okay, just go forward.
I think what's made our experience different is the connections with the teachers.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of people don't have that connection, and we've been fortunate enough to all bond as such a big group.
A wealth of experience coming from her, and would be sitting there like mesmerised by every word she was talking. You know, we wouldn't have to even pick up a pen because everything she was telling us was relevant to what we were doing, but we didn't need to write it down. We'd go home and I couldn't wait to tell my husband about this experience she told us about that could possibly have happened to me. So I think it's a connection of the stories, her history of what she's gone through, and then Lynette. She's just she was just fantastic. Like you said, connecting student to teacher to me has been amazing. I've never been an education type person, but I loved learning from these people.
The degree doesn't teach you to express yourself. It's more about A plus B equals C. This is how it's done. You read, you research, and you just do. Whereas this course has offered us a way to express ourselves and bring it forward to the students, because it teaches them to also bring it themselves out of their comfort zone.
I don't know, it's hard to explain. I feel so much more alive than what I used to. Even when I talk to my family about it, they can't believe the difference and how much more confident I am, and, you know, wanting to embrace so many different things. Like, I've always been a writer, but I haven't been a creative writer, and the whole creative experience really threw me at the start. But now I'm at home, and a couple of nights ago, me and the boys sat down and go, all right, you choose characters, let's make a story. You know, we wouldn't have done that before. And just making up our own storybooks and, you know.
And going back to the studying before and now, I think sometimes we're guided by our friends, our family, as to which direction they believe that we should go in. So I followed the accounting path because I was told, oh, you're great at maths, so maybe that's a good path. But it's taken me all these years to realise, yeah, I do love maths, but it doesn't mean that I have to be an accountant for all my life. I do have the freedom and the right to change if I feel like it.
I think sometimes because you are expressing such personal things, sometimes you're worried about judgment and about, you know, people knowing things that are so close to your heart. But, you know, as time goes on, it just gets so much easier, and now I can do it like a drop of a hat. I'm not so worried now.
For me, I look at the group and I'm proud of the girls, and Paul, especially Paul, because he was the only male in our class. And I know if the reverse was had to happen and I was the only female, I'd feel a little bit intimidated. But he pushed through it and he succeeded, and he became like one of us.
This has been something we'll never forget.
Yeah. I never thought I'd go back. I studied 20 years ago at VU and in higher ed, and I thought, now that's it, I'm never going back. And found myself here, and I've really enjoyed it, almost more. And I feel, even though it's just TAFE or it's just a certificate, I feel that it has benefited me, like my personality, much more than the degree did.
You grow up. Well, when I was 18, I was still immature, but now that I'm older, I've grown up more, and now, like, I've got a career, like, I've actually qualified in something, and I, how do you say, appreciate it.
I love the fact that I can come back here even after being away for, 6-7 weeks or whatever it is since the course is finished, and getting to see Joan again and getting to see you guys again. It's just a beautiful feeling that you get, and I never expected to feel like this about going to university.
Because I've been having work for like such a long time, 9 years, because of my illness and all that, and they can tell that I'm more happier now because I'm succeeding. I thought I would never succeed again in life because of my illness, and I let my illness get me down. But now, I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud of myself now.
Now that I'm working, so because of the course and through the placement that I did through the course, I now have full-time employment.
You never stop learning, never stop learning. The students also teach you lots of things, and lots of times I'd go home as part of reflective practice and I'd say, well, I didn't know that, that's very interesting, and it would be something a student told me. I did things like, I learned how to make goat's cheese, I learned how to watch people salsa dance, I learned how to make a lovely citrus and coconut cake, just lots of things.
I don't know what it is about the place.
It just also offers so many different pathways. Like, you start here, doesn't mean that you have to end here. So I remember having a conversation with Joan and saying, I've got the study bug and this is not me, so it was really overwhelming. I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't want it to end. I just felt it was too abrupt an ending.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for different pathways to go into. And
how can I extend this now?
Yeah.
Where can this lead to? And there are other avenues that it can lead to. And it'd be interesting to see if the other students that we worked with have gone on to do further training.
I was planning to take 6 months off to get my life back into some kind of normality. And one Tuesday afternoon, the vice principal of the school that I was at, she rang and she said, what are you doing now? Are you currently working, or are you going back to studies? Because I still want to come back next year to study again. And I said no, and she said, well, can you start Monday? We need a learning support officer to start on Monday. And I said, sure, and haven't looked back since.
The group the particular group that you were in was a very diverse group, and I love that diversity. Lots of different students coming from different backgrounds with different needs and different life experiences, and I think that makes it exciting. But like you say, you have a calling. My calling is to teaching, and I do all the other stuff here so that I can teach. So walking into the classroom is the highlight of my work at uni. Yeah.
I'm actually finishing it off now at Footscray, and we have 3 guys there, and they're different ages. There's a really elderly gentleman and a young one and a middle-aged one, and they are loving the course, and it's good to see them in there. It's probably not too hard to try and get females into this course, but if you are a guy out there and you want to give it a go, don't be afraid, because you can do it.